Hey guys, Paul Brock here. Hey, how's it going? Today's lesson, we're going to do like a little guitar sidebar, I like to call it, where it's not really a lesson, it's a little mini lesson, and we're just going to talk about uh, little things that we need to know about the guitar that we don't want to sink a whole lot of time into, but it's good to know, okay? And today, we're going to talk about where all your notes are. And this is a whole thing about knowing where your notes are and learning it like that without ever reading music. Okay? I know a lot of people have a lot of hang-ups about reading music, and that's cool. I get it. You don't have to read music to play guitar, plain and simple. But it does help to know where your notes are. And this is like a thing you can do when you first pick your guitar up, you can just tell yourself, hey, I'm going to do this for like 3 to 5 minutes, and then I'm going to forget about it. And I'm going to do that every time I pick up the guitar. Maybe it's only 2 minutes, but it's going to be at least 2 minutes, right? And in no time, you are going to know where all the notes are. You're going to know. And we're just going to start like if you've ever used a method book, right? The good old method books from Mel Bay and Hal Leonard that start with E, F, and G, right? Well, we're going to do the same thing. But so here we go. This is it. String one, okay? E, F, and G. We're going to group it like this. We're going to do all the places we can play E, F, and G, all the places we can play B, C, and D, and then we're going to slip in the note A. And this is all in my lesson course, The Absolute Guitarist, available at Brockguitar.com. Easy peasy. There's actually a whole other lesson course called Fretboard Clarity that teaches you all this in depth. I mean, it's invaluable to know. By the time, you don't, like I say, it's not about reading music. We're not even going to look at a sheet of music or a piece of paper or anything that's got little black dots on it. We're not doing that. But if you want to do that, there's another one called Fretboard Clarity at Brockguitar.com that can get you there. And remember, if you like these lessons and you want to keep them coming, just do me a favor and hit subscribe and the like button, and that'd be great. It helps me out a lot. So here we go. E, F, and G, all the places we can play E, F, and G. On string one, and this is how you need to practice it. It's not just going to be like per string, right? We're going to take E, F, and G on string one, and that's going to be open first and third frets. And you say, okay, cool, I got it, man. E, F, and G right there. Now here's where it gets fun. We're going to like move one note at a time across the guitar as we go up the neck, okay? So if you can play E, F, and G here, we're going to move that E that's over here on the open string, right? And we're going to play it here on the second string at the 5th fret, okay? And we're going to finger it kind of like that. I like to do little finger, index, and second, because I kind of think of this as being in like this position and not that position, right? But anyway, E, F, G, move the E note to string 2. E, F, G. Now we're going to put the E and the F on string 2. G is still on string 1. And now we put all 3 notes on string 2. Okay? Now we're going to move the E note to string 3. F and G are still on string 2. Alright? Then we're going to move the E and the F to string 3. G is still on string 2. Then we're going to move the E and the F and the G to string 3. Now, here's the thing. All of these they all sound the same. If we were reading music, right? It's all on the same spot on the page. It's that top space of the treble clef. But you didn't hear me say that. And we could keep going, but I usually just stop at 12. Like, who cares past 12? You just do your thing, man. But we could say like string 4, 14th fret is E, There's F and G, and then here's the E and the F, and then here's the G, and then here's the E, F, and the G. Okay, that's cool. But we're going to stop at 12. And before we go any further, I just want to point out, notice that everywhere there was an E, F was on the very next fret. No matter where you are on the guitar or the piano, if you find an E, F is the very next note. You do not skip a fret for F. E and F are 1 fret apart. And so are B and C when we get there. Okay, but now we're going to keep going. So now we're going to go down an octave, okay? And we got this E right here on string 4. And there's our E, F, and G on string 4. Frets 2, 3, and 5. Notice 1 fret between E and F, 2 frets between F and G. This is important. Okay, now we move the E to string 5. But the F and the G are still over here. And all this stretching around corresponds to like scale fingerings and stuff that you would learn and use for all kinds of things, right? And now our E and the E and F, E and the F, our E and F, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Our E and F are on string 5, and G is on string 4 still, okay? So here's those 3. Stretch. Don't stretch as much, right? And now we put it all on string 5. Okay. Now we're going to 12, so we can put the E on 12 on the big string. F and G over here. E and F on the big string at the 12 and 13. G is right here. And this is good to know because you're going to play a G chord up there someday. You want to know that that note's G. What if you have to play G major 7 way up here? You know? You need to know that that's G so you don't have to like sit there and go found it, right? And now all on the big string. Did we do that yet? I'm not going to care about that really. Okay, and then finally we got the big string down here and the little string way up here. Right? Duh. Okay? So we got it. All right, so here's your test. Here's how you're going to test yourself. You're going to pick a tempo. It doesn't have to be fast. You just can't stop. And you got to get every beat. Okay? So if I wanted to test myself and say, do I know where all my E's, F's, and G's are? The way we just practiced it. Can I pick this tempo? I hope. I mean, I've done it before, but, you know, every day's a different day, man. So, what is that? Okay, it's a D. Anyway, so here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. E, F, G, E. I want to do that again. I hit the B string. 1, 2, ready, go. E, F, G, 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 E, F, G. I can breathe now. Okay, got it. Okay, now notice, remember, everywhere there was E, F was right there next to it. Let's real quick, we're going to do B, C, and D, same thing. And we'll just get string 1 out of the way. And that's 7, 8, and 10. That's a B, C, and D. And now we're going to do that same thing that we just did with E and F and G. I mean, I could do it here. Move the B to 12 on string 2. Now the B and the C are on 12 and 13 on string 2. D is on 10 of string 1, right? And then they're all on string 2 on 12s. Frets, 12, 13, and 15. Okay, so we got that. And now we can go down here to string 1, open, 1st fret, 3rd fret. I'm sorry, string 2 is B, C, and D. Now I'm going to move the B to string 3. Now I'm going to move the B and the C to string 3. Okay. Now I'm going to move B, C, and D to string 3. Now I'm going to move the B to string 4. B and C on string 4. D is still on string 3. Alright, and now all on string 4. And now B, C, and D on string 5. Move the B to string 6, 7th fret. B and C on string 6, D on string 5. Alright. B, C, and D on string 6. And then I'm going to do, you're going to do this every day. You're just going to kind of walk through it, for a couple of minutes and then walk away. And so now I'm going to put it all together. That same tempo. Here I go. 1, 2, ready, go. B, C, D, 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 B, C, D. I'm pretty sure that was all of them. So that's B, C, and D. All right? We're almost to the end. But this is, man, knowing where your notes are is invaluable. I mean, because then you know what you're playing, If you had like a blues lick or, and you said, well, hey, man, that's like A, C, D, and then I slide into this E flat and back, and I just reverse it, and I land on A. Then you don't have to hunt, you know what I mean? You just go, dude, it's A. Where is it? Was that all of them? Yes, that was all of them. There's all on one string. I know where the notes are, so I can do that fast, right? So now, the next step, the third step, is we're going to put just, I noticed this when I started teaching this, a long time ago, was B, C, D, E, F, G makes this little pattern that goes the other way. Like all this stuff we did went kind of like from this side up here, way over here and across the fretboard. But if you put those groupings together, and it winds up going this way, right? What I mean by that is like if we just played E, F, G, B, C, D on every string as we went across the guitar, we would have this. And here's the next thing you can do. And you don't have to wait till you know everything about one of these ideas, B, C, E, F, G, or B, C, and D to put it together. I mean, you could put it together now and just say like, hey man, check it out. E, F, and G is here. And now we got B, C, D, E, F, G. All right, and notice everywhere there's a B, C is right next to it. And then you got to skip a fret to get to D. So I have this little pattern. Here's B, C, D, E, F, G. And that's it, right? And it's even more symmetrical up here. If I start on B, right? B, C, D, E, F, G. B, C, D, E, F, G, right? All right. Okay, for real. So, work those out. B, C, D, E, F, G. Try to just see that and then see it the other way. And then the last thing you got to do is say, like, well, where do I want to play A? We're not doing sharps or flats right now, right? We're just doing all natural notes. If we were looking at a keyboard, it'd be all the white keys, and that's it. That's all we're touching. Okay, so if I said, hey, if I'm starting here, and then I need to go E, F, G, next note's A. I can do this and play A right there, and just tell myself, I'm going to play A with my little finger every time up here. I'm going to go E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. And then when I come down, I'm going to use... And then if I'm up here, I'm going to play... Maybe I do it the other way. Maybe I say like B, C, D, E, F, G, and A is the index finger. And then I take that index finger and I move it to B, and I do the same thing. So now I have... I'm going to play that A with my pinky, my little finger. So, and that's pretty much it. I mean, that's all you got to do. Every day, 2 to 5 minutes, in no time at all, you will know where all your notes are. Because if you know B and C are a fret apart, E and F are a fret apart, no matter where it is in the guitar, right? Everything else is 2 frets apart. If you really got to know where F sharp is, just find F and say, well, if that's F sharp. If you really got to know where B flat is, just find B. And say like, well, if that's B, that's B flat. If this is A flat. If this is G, right, then this is G sharp. Sharp, sharp and flat, flat and sharp, whatever, right? So is it G or G sharp? Or is it A or A flat? So some of these notes can have a flat name or a sharp name. Most of them can, right? So, then, because, I'm not into this whole like, hey, look, I can play E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, and so on. I don't know how anybody commits that to memory. I know people do, but my brain does not do that. To me, it's like, give me the basics, the gist of the whole idea, and then tell me what I got to do to find the other thing when I need it. And then eventually it works its way into my memory, and I'm pretty sure that's how it always worked for me, right? So, E, F, and G, all the places you can play E, F, and G, all the places you can play B, C, and D, all the places you can play B, C, D, E, F, G, and then the last thing is B, C, D, E, F, G, adding the note A. That's it. You never have to learn how to read music, but you can if you want to. Because by the time you know where those notes are on the guitar, you're almost there, man. Just looking at the note on the page and going, well, that note's right here. I guess I can do it, And again, if you like this lesson, hit subscribe, hit the like button. And there's more of this at Brockguitar.com. Okay. There's a beginner lesson package. There's one called Fretboard Clarity that's all about this. And it does sort of teach you it uses note reading to teach you where all your notes are, but you wind up learning to read music by accident. That's the good news. All right? And I'll see you in the next one. You guys have a good one.